Hi everyone, I'm Larry Rawson from ESPN, and I had the pleasure for 16 years of being on the board of the NSAF, and let me tell you, right next to me here, we have a truly big-time dude. 10 Halls of Fame he's been in, that's the truth, including USA Track and Field Hall of Fame, which very few coaches, there's only a few selected spots, not every year for a coach to get in. He is a former UCLA head coach for 21 years. They won the NCAA title several times, almost a third victory under his guidance. And he is certainly noted these days for having guided so beautifully the great Meb Keflezighi to an Olympic silver medal and victories in the TCS New York City Marathon and the Boston Marathon. Bob, great to have you with us, and thanks for joining.
Well, thank you for asking me.
Well, it's a pleasure. I have high regard for you forever. And you know, I think what could be helpful here for distance running, let me just start off, it comes to mind right away, and something I wanted to ask you. If you could pick 3 workouts that a Meb Keflezighi, who was a 4:05 high school miler, or somebody who focused on the mile or maybe the 3K in high school and college, what are the 3 workouts that you felt could contribute to an athlete's improvement the most?
That's hard to answer exactly, Larry, but a couple bread and butter workouts that everybody does that I still really love are repeat quarter miles. And I would maybe every few weeks use it as a check on what kind of condition they're getting into. So, and then we repeat it. So
improving the time or shortening the distance as the season went along?
It'd be a timed rest. Be 10 times 400 meters, 1 minute rest timed in between, and then average it out. So it was easy to compare from 2-week period, maybe twice a month, something like that. So I could demonstrate to them that they were improving. And that's a combination of speed endurance, when they're really in good shape and can run around 60 seconds, 62 seconds.
All right.
So it's a little bit of speed, quite a bit of endurance, and recovery. Recovery is extremely important, and that's, you're measuring recovery. When the recovery is very quick, you know they're ready to race at a maximum level. So I love that workout. And you can do the same with 800 meters or 200 meters.
I understand.
And play with those.
Sure.
Also. I also like, as far as a little bit longer distance, repeats. If they're going to run 5,000 meters, when they're not real young, but when they're a little bit more mature.
Age what? 18, 19?
When I was coaching in high school, I would let the guys run mile repeats occasionally, but only when they were pretty rested, so they could hang in there and not, it wouldn't be a death march out there where 1 or 2 guys would dominate. And I'd split them up so no one was getting defeated.
So the talent would run with the same type of talent.
Exactly. It might be just 3 guys together, maybe 2 guys together.
I understand.
Sometimes it'd be 6 for the first 2 repeats, and then I'd separate them. And I'm always adjusting the times during the workout, wind, heat, how they're looking.
I was just going to say, so some of them look fatigued on a given day, and you understand, and so you cut back the workout.
I would want to be there in any mile workout. It wouldn't be a manager holding the stopwatch, because I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to pull them off that workout if they're not looking good on something, a young person in high school. And we did it very seldom. Now in college, we did this more frequently. When you get to post-collegiately and someone's moving up to a half marathon or a marathon, 10,000 meters, this is the mile repeats are
cross country too, right?
Yes, definitely cross country too. And so those 2. The other workout that we used over the years to, I think, great advantage was a high-level tempo run. And that tempo run in high school was generally 4 miles, where they're running right at the threshold, and they're pushing pretty hard through that full 4 miles.
And how often would you run that workout?
We would run and push the pace, the full 4 miles, at least once every 2 weeks. But in between that, we would run going out on the roads a progressive run. So we'd be out on the roads, they knew that we'd be picking it up. I'd run with them in those days through the warm-up stages, make sure that everybody was comfortable. Then we'd start picking it up, picking it up, picking it up, until we got to threshold pace. And then I would tell them how far they were going to go. I was deciding as we were running what they could handle today at a threshold pace on that particular day. Then sometimes I'd cut across, caution them or encourage them as they're coming by me. And guys were running at a very fast pace, and that translates into success in racing because you're race practice doing that. You're in that uncomfortable zone for quite a while, and you learn to pace yourself. You learn to run with others, adjust. And that threshold will improve faster than almost any other energy systems.
Coach, you've had great success with Meb, and you've spent years dedicating yourself to his improvement and success, and done a lot of it at altitude. We have a number of states in the union where athletes do train at altitude, can go up a bit in altitude. If a high school runner wants to go to a camp and it's at some altitude, 5,000, 4,500 feet or higher, can a week's worth of training help at all, or do you need to be there longer?
First, your kidneys do not start making EPO until at least 6,000 feet elevation.
Okay.
The EPO then triggers the bone marrow to make red blood cells. So then you can move more oxygen through the system. So ideally you should be at 7,500, 8,500. Wow. That's where we were at Mammoth all those years with Meb, Dina Castor, and others in our group. And you have to be there about 21 days to make a major...
To get any effect of the whole thing.
But going to altitude, especially during the summer or late fall when they start training cross country, it's cooler, even at maybe 3,000, 4,000 feet. Certainly at 5,000 feet. It's drier. You get people away from maybe the everyday activities that they're doing, so you isolate. So there's some benefits in addition to just exposing them to altitude that maybe isn't going to be that beneficial at that moment. Right. But also there's perceived exertion. When you get much above 3,000 feet, you're working harder to run.
I've noticed that, even at 3.
So when you get back to sea level, you've gained advantage. You've been hurting,
right.
And now it's easier for you.
Yep. In high school when you coached, did you try and recruit students that you thought had the right build in high school? And you coached in high school for at least 3 years that I know of.
4 years.
4 years, okay.
Yeah.
But did you look around to try and find athletes that you thought had the right build or seemed to possess quickness or whatever characteristics you were looking for?
You don't always get that ideal model, but if you see somebody that's really lightweight and has good stride mechanics and has speed besides, you've got everything. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that this is raw material that maybe you can turn into a champion. But I had great success over the years with guys that came up far short of the ideal physique, didn't have speed, but were willing to really work hard over a long period of time, work on their stride mechanics, and were just tough. And by doing the work and believing this would help them, sometimes it even really surprised me what they were able to accomplish.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed an outstanding coach who knows distances like few others in the United States, Bob Larsen. And thank you for joining us, Bob.
Great. I'm always long-winded.
No, you were fine.
Okay.